what did you like about kind of the process that you guys took through the preseason schedule to now give yourself some stuff to look at moving forward?
Yeah, first off, I think we improved on each game. But we also still have stuff to go back and work on. Now that we get good solid days back in the practice gym, we're gonna be able to figure out everything that needs to be tweaked and get better at the things that are already good. But for the most part, proud of the guys. Just kept improving. Getting better each day.
Really manufactured a lot of looks here over the last couple games, made a lot of them too. Anything that maybe you learned about yourself and the team's ever changing and ever evolving, like kind of how you fit into everything this year?
Yeah, I mean, finding ways to just get to windows and be able to get looks. Fortunate enough for me, I got teammates that are willing to find me, hit me whenever I'm open. But just continue to find new tricks, just to get open and do what I do best. Other than that, be able to play defense and run the floor and do all the little things, take charges, all that.
With Hardenstein out now, like I wonder, like in practice, are other guys trying to mimic Hardenstein because he is such this new piece that plays a way that nobody really plays here?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of hard to replace, but we have a certain style that we play. But first, I'll start by saying like everybody's their own player, and everybody does have the next man up mentality, and they bring whatever it is they bring to the team in their own way. So now with him out for a little bit, just find new ways to work within the system.
As a shooter yourself, you've played with Shea for a number of years now. Are you noticing anything mechanically different for him? It seems like he's off to a hot start from three.
Oh man, his confidence I think is through the roof right now, and I think that'll help him going into the the regular season. He's shooting the ball very well. The preseason is looking good, and just hopefully just keep rolling.
I just asked him what nuance of your game he's noticed you've taken strides forward, and he said you've done a really good job noticing how to leverage your gravity offensively. And I just wonder for you, kind of what goes into that and what's your process there?
Yeah, I mean, draw a lot of attention whenever you can knock down the shot like that. So other than knocking down shots, I try to do things like burns, get some cuts in there. Still doing the little slide-out screens or whatever, some off-ball screens because my man, most of the time wants to, stay stuck to me. But just things like that, finding tricks that way too as well. Just being able to get other players open other than myself using my gravity.
And then defensively, you mentioned taking charges. You had a charge today. Dylan Jones had one as well. There's a lot of guys on this roster who seem like they're willing to make that sort of play. Just what does that say about this group?
Just doing whatever it takes to, win games. Not taking possessions off. Every little thing adds up. So we have a great group of guys that's just, wanting to win at all costs, no matter what it means. If that's taking a charge, if that's, getting a deflection, if that's making the extra pass. We just have that winning mentality.
You guys doing a little bit, I don't know, not experimenting, but just more versatility on defense. You did like some three-quarter tonight, some zone. Had a five-guard lineup at one point. I mean, it seems like maybe you're doing a little bit more as a team.
We've been a team to be very versatile in the way that we play. So just doing things like that throughout the season is, kind of what we do.
Kind of keep things fresh for you guys, little changes, things like that.
Keep it fresh, keep the other team on their toes, things of that sort. Nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Joel.
Going back to Shea, like I know when we're in practice, you guys are often like in that same half court when we're in there, like kind of doing the same-ish workout. Like what kind of situations are you seeing him put himself in to maybe translate or have translated to the game?
I'm working on everything from catch and shoot to off the dribble to transition. And actually we don't only do like threes and all that, but I try to do some of his workouts just to get a different feel for the game. Just try to expand any way we can. We try to learn. That's all we do.
To you in the last 5 minutes or so, getting those opportunities to execute late against a hungry team?
Yeah, we've had a couple of those now. Houston, and then here. So thought they did a great job, coming down the stretch, got quality looks on a lot of possessions on offense, stacked some stops, and then situational awareness in the last couple minutes. I thought they executed pretty well.
What did you make of the process overall, just offensively tonight, especially in that first half? Felt like you guys were moving the ball pretty well, and then the shots started falling in the third quarter. Just overall, what did you make tonight?
Yeah, hit or miss. I didn't think we were as sharp as we've been, but had some good possessions, had some possessions where we could have been a little sharper from an execution standpoint, but we'll look at them and, we got a lot of practice time now before the opener to get our blade sharp, and we got to do that and then get ourselves ready for the season.
And then with Isaiah, there was a possession. He knocked down his fourth three-pointer, and then on the very next one takes a charge. Just very in character for him.
Yep.
But is there any nuance to his game that you've noticed he's been able to take strides forward in so far this season?
Yeah, I mean he's a pretty good player as it is. I think he's finding more threes when he's inside of the actions. I think he's learning. Especially with contact screens, how to get away from his man but stay behind the line so that he can leverage his gravity kind of longer inside the possession. Thought he had a couple of good ones tonight. Even the ones he doesn't shoot, it kind of extends the play a little bit. Sometimes he can find the roller or a perimeter player, something he's been working on. He's done a really good job with.
I understand these guys are like in different cities in the summer getting together in a gym where you can't see them, but as far as maybe through training camp, like how much are you working on, the ball handlers seeing Chet when he's rolling and kind of pinpointing that connection?
They're doing a great job of finding him. He's 7'1" with great hands and great skill. So when we throw him the ball on those rolls, it's really, really impactful, for our offense and really strains the defense. So they've done a great job of that. It's probably not something that we're working on in the summertime, but as we came back in the fall, I think the team's done a great job of just recognizing when he's in the action and finding him.
We talked recently about his approach just changing in terms of, going to the rim and stuff, but the free throws specifically, like the player he was, Chet, the player he was last year, did you feel like he was leaving free throws on the table? Like, what were the conversations there leading into this season?
Yeah, I just think he's globally better. I think Case and Wallace is in that category too. They were in their first year last year. You don't know what to expect until you play an NBA season, and then they played 82 games. They got a ton of experiences, and then they got stronger this summer. They got more skilled this summer on offense. And I do think that the wisdom that you get from 82 games and then the distance from the season, letting that marinate over the summer and then coming back, knowing what to expect, both in the rhythm of the season and also what to expect on the court, understanding the patterns of the NBA, they're clearly better, and so that's just textbook development, from guys that, started last season, had great years, and have taken a nice step forward.
With Kaysen as a playmaker tonight, what'd you see from him in that aspect?
Pretty good. He's improved at that. He's a guy that, he's a secondary ball handler for us, but the way that you can use that is pretty impactful. You can use him as a handler, put some of your more high gravity players in action with him, which we've tried to do a little bit. And he's improved his skill. He's improved his confidence. He's improved his stuff with the ball. He and Chet, like I said, have both stacked a good season last year, a good summer, and have gotten off to a great start.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Coach, did you get to see what you wanted to see out of these preseason games? Not a thing?
Not a thing.
Anything impress you at all?
No. No, it was great. Yeah, they're all touch points, They're all touch points. Practices are touch points. We just try to tick forward a little bit with every experience, every practice. Now we've got a nice stretch of practice over the weekend and into next week that we really need to capitalize on. We won't have a stretch of practice like this for the rest of the regular season.
Despite significant injuries kind of around the league, Ihart gets hurt. Any thought maybe, hey, I'll kind of rest my guys a little bit this final preseason game? Any thought of that?
No, we obviously didn't, but it's tough. You're also trying to prime them and get them ready for games. And you can't bubble wrap the team, before the season. That actually puts you at more of a risk than playing, in our opinion. So it's a balance. I hear you, and we obviously see the injuries. The Hartenstein one's a tough break, but at the end of the day, we handle it as best we can with the information we have. We think we've handled it well in the past and into this year, so didn't really change our approach.